Hi, my name's Priya, and today I am going to be talking about wedging clay. So if you have clay that's in a bag that is already nicely compressed, you don't really need to wedge it very much, but maybe you have some leftover scraps and reclaimed material, and that you're going to want to make it all the same consistency so that you can throw with it and build with it a little bit better. So I'm going to start by taking some of my clay out of the bag here. And I'm going to cut off a good sized handful. So I've got some clay like this, and if I'm just going to wheel throw with it and it's nice new clay, I could just kind of like slap it into shape. But what I like to do actually is to wedge it a little bit more than that. So I'm going to get this clay out of this way. And there's two main ways of wedging. The first one is that you just push it straight on. And that's the easiest way to learn, but the problem with that is the clay gets longer and longer, so you've got to smash it back in on the ends. The other way of doing it has kind of a twist in the middle, and that way is going to make more of a cone shape that you're not going to have to smash back in, but it's a little harder to learn. So I'd start out with a straight on wedge, and then after you get the hang of that, I might try putting a twist in it. So to start out with, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be pushing away from me, and maybe doing a little more of the twist with my right hand, but I'm going to start with a straight on. So I've got the clay like this in my hands, and I'm going to push away, and then I'm going to peel it back towards me. I'm going to push it away, and then peel it back with my fingertips. And what I'm doing here is I'm just making it into a coil. So it's making a circle on the inside, and it's going around and around and around. And as this gets longer, I'm going to want to stop and pound it back down on the ends so it doesn't just keep getting longer, and I'm going to keep coming towards me and doing this. So this would be nice if I was going to hand build, I'd have a good coil started, but let's say I'm wheel throwing and I want more of a cone shape. So that's going to be more of a shape that you're going to start with on the wheel, and it's going to be easier to center that way. So I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, but I'm going to push a little more with my left hand, and then I'm going to pull a little more with my right. So you can think of it as push and pull, push and pull. So I'm really using the heel of my hand back here when I'm pushing, and then my fingertips as it's coming towards me. And so here you can see it's got the circle as it's winding around in the middle, and it's getting in towards the cone shape. And then the last thing I'm going to do, once I feel like this is pretty well compressed, and again, if it's right fresh out of the bag, then you don't really need to wedge it very much at all. It's really just shaping it. If you've got some recycled clay and some reclaimed scraps, then you're going to want to make those all the same consistency. But the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this bottom, and I'm just going to roll it out and get rid of any potential air pockets or uneven places so that I'm all ready to go when I'm going to set this on my wheel.